ドジャースの大谷翔平選手が4試合ぶりの本塁打を狙い、1番 DH で出場しました。第1打席で安打を放つと、第2打席では敵地打を記録し、先発の山本由伸投手を援護しました。第1打席は左腕フリーランド投手との対戦。ワンボールからの内角低めのナックルカーブをライト前へ運び、8月の全16試合で出塁を継続しました。打球速度は 110.9 マイル、約178キロを記録しています。続く第2打席は 1-0 で迎えた2回に3塁の場面。ワンストライクから高めのスイーパーを痛烈に弾き返し、センター前への敵地打としました。打球速度は 106.5 マイル、約171キロ。打球はフリーランド投手の頭部を直撃しかねない危険なコースで、同投手は地面に1回転して回避しました。この場面について、ロッキーズ放送の解説を務めた元選手コーリー・サリバン氏は、
これは私たちの勝ちです。
と発言。その上で、
シングルで済むなら御の字だ。
と続け、クアーズフィールドでの大谷の実績を踏まえ、本塁打など長打を許さなかったことに安堵している様子を見せました。この皮肉を交えた実況の様子も日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Well, I think I like what we did this past weekend. I like that Yoshinobu's taking the mound tonight. I think to come back and bounce back from his last outing, I think I'm looking forward to that. I think also now where we're at, mid to late August, all these games matter. And so I don't expect a letdown. I expect those guys over there to really come after us and play without, with nothing to lose. And so we've seen Freeland a lot over the years, and just go out there and do what we do.
Dave Roberts, as well as players like Freddie Freeman, have made it very clear recently that, of course, the tone and things start with starting pitcher. And today that's going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's on the mound. He's coming off of a tough outing against the Angels. He wasn't able to get through 5 innings of work. He gave up a career-high 6 runs. And even when he talked after the game about that outing, he said after that leadoff home run that was on the first pitch, he had a couple walks, gave up another run later in that inning, and he just couldn't get himself back in rhythm. And that's what ultimately kind of messed him up moving forward. He would try to make those in-game adjustments, and ultimately he just could not execute. So coming into this one, he has his minds on getting back on track as well. So Dave Roberts, as well as the group, they do believe that that's going to be the key. If Yoshinobu can get going and get back to his true self, then the offense can follow him, guys.
And Yoshinobu has pitched well there in Colorado in his 2 career starts. Kirsten, thank you very much. Last Monday in Anaheim, Yoshinobu Yamamoto had one of the rougher outings of his season, just 4 2/3. He gave up 6 runs on 6 hits. He walked 5, struck out 6 on 99 pitches. Now, the 6 runs allowed were a career high, and he tied his career high with those 5 walks. Of course, he was an all-star this year for the first time, has 10 wins. The ERA is still really good, under 3, and he's been good at correcting things after a bad outing, Nomar. So what was it that got him into trouble last week in Anaheim?
Well, you got to think about when you have a pitcher that's as good as Yamamoto, and you know he has a devastating split finger. As a hitter, put you away, you're going, I don't want to get behind, and he likes to get ahead. So you're ready for the very first pitch. So you're thinking, okay, he might try to get me over, whatever it may be. So you're ready. So we're going to go to the K zone, and we're going to see how the Angels were ready for that. Early on, they're like, listen, don't be afraid to ambush. Be ready for the very first pitch. You don't need to wait around because you know he likes to get ahead of hitters, so then he can mix it up with not only his fastball but that split finger. So here's a fastball. It wasn't really, too far down, but they were ready for it. And it was just kind of like in the middle of the plate. Here's another fastball, too. Hit hard. Yes, it was an out, but this ball was crushed. Like, they were ready. They weren't wasting any time. And we also talked about how he was struggling with the walks, right? He had 5 base on balls, which is very uncharacteristic of Yamamoto. So they were able to say, listen, I can wait over the middle of the plate. I don't necessarily have to look down. I can look in a particular area, and I get it in that area. I'm able to put a good swings on it. There's 1, 2. Even if they're behind, they recognized where he was struggling, where they recognized, like, I can just kind of look more up in the zone because he wasn't staying down in the zone with his fastball as far as command was concerned, or that split finger was just falling out. So they're like, listen, I can set my sights up, look fastball, look for off speed up, and take advantage of it. And they were able to do that. So we've seen him where he's really effective, where the fastball is at the top of the zone, and he's getting that strike to change your eyesight. But he's also dotting it at the bottom of the zone, so then the split finger, when it starts there, you have to be aware of it. You have to go after his hitter, and then you get the swing and miss. So establishing both places with that fastball is going to be key.
He's had an outstanding season. Listen, his ERA is under 3. And he's had a couple hiccups. I don't care who you are. You're going to have a couple hiccups throughout the course of the season. But you said it earlier, John, he's able to bounce back. He's got to be able to command that fastball like Nomar talked about. When you establish a fastball on the corners and up in the zone, he can now really use that splitter. So got to spot the fastball to have his off speed to be effective.
Well, Alex, it's obviously no secret when you come to Coors Field, the ball plays a little bit different, but you're coming off of a series in which you ended truly on the highest of notes with that strikeout. How do you have to manage just yourself understanding that the ball likely is going to play a little bit differently here, but of course going for the same results?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, it's playing catch and kind of getting acclimated with altitude and whatnot. I would say it's harder when I first came up because I wasn't really familiar with it. I've been pretty familiar with it the last couple years, so it's one pitch at a time. It's the same thing for me. My routine doesn't change. It's honestly like the less you think about it, just go out and compete is probably the best. But other than that, it's one pitch at a time. We got a game to win today. Yam's on the mound, and I'm looking forward to watching him do his thing.
Usually good things happen when he takes the mound. Is there a certain marker that you're looking for when you are playing catch, though, and how you kind of see how the ball's playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's to try to not make it like more nasty than what it already is. So it's like I'm not looking to make it sweep or slide more or like better. It's just kind of just execute where my vision and where my release point is. So yeah, it is a little tough, but we manage it pretty well.
What would you say is harder, the run from the bullpen or executing pitches on the mound here?
A million times the run from the bullpen. It's the one. I think it's the farthest, but also like you get to the umpire. Right, so sometimes, actually, I think the last time I was here, I was like, hey, can I have a couple more seconds? And the guy was like, yeah, like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, the altitude just sucked. I'm not used to it. So hopefully, whoever, I don't know who the crew is this time, but maybe they'll help me out.
After the game, you said that with what the bullpen was able to do in that series, getting back on track, building the confidence, you guys were getting back to being those dogs in the bullpen. Did you feel that last year, just a shift as you all prepared for the postseason? And obviously, we know what that looked like.
Yeah, I mean, there is a shift as, you know, the games are counting down. Right, we have 40-something left. You know, when we get back from this like road trip, it's down into the 20s. So it's definitely, it's go time, right? And we all know that. And, you know, we've had, you know, great conversations where guys are being vulnerable and like kind of letting their emotions out, that how they're feeling, how they're going about it, where, you know, I've had to talk with some of the guys, like, I felt the same when I was a rookie or new or, you know, didn't really know my role. So when you kind of have those talks, it definitely brings us closer. And I think it's the best time is doing that right now. So then, you know, we can keep going forward and being the dogs that we are.
I love it, Alex. And you see the shift, you feel the shift, and it's go time. So best of luck out there today or whenever you get out there in this series. And thank you as always.
Thank you.
Just make it fun. Yoshinobu Yamamoto making his third career start at Coors Field tonight. Beat the Rockies there last year. Then in June of this year, Jared, he was cruising 5 shutout innings, allowed just 1 hit, 6 strikeouts before the rains came. Dodgers will be looking for another outing like that one tonight.
Well, Walt touched on it earlier. It's about having that fastball command and that splitter. If you can do that, you can pitch at altitude. Certainly he's had success there in the past, and hopefully he does the same thing like he did in previous starts, have both those pitches working.
Listen, and when you're pitching at Coors Field, fastball command is really critical, you know, because we know some of the breaking stuff just doesn't break quite the same and doesn't have the same bite to it. Although you look at that split finger, you're like, man, it has some bite and has some movement. It doesn't mean that it's never going to have that, but we even heard Alex Vesia talking about it, where it's like, listen, you just know you got to go execute a little more, where it may not have the exact same break, but it's going to be there, but you're not trying to force it or look for it. But if he has that fastball command, he can keep the hitters off balance, and then that stuff's really effective.
Freeland's first pitch. Misses upstairs. Ball 1 on Shohei Ohtani, who has loved visiting Coors Field.
Well, who doesn't if you're a hitter? The pitchers hate it here. The hitters, they absolutely love it. You look at the home and the road splits.
And there's another hit for Ohtani in Denver. A base hit to right to lead off the ball game.
Visiting bats love it here. The home bats love it here. Sometimes you end up with slugfests.
So that means Ohtani's on base streak now at 16 games. And that was scorched off the bat, close to 111 miles per hour.
It's not always about how far the ball carries here. It's how the ball doesn't break out of the pitcher's hand as sharply.
So 1-0 with Ohtani digging in. Rojas on third, 2 outs in the second. Whoa, watch out. That's a hot shot into center field. Ohtani nearly took off the head of Freeland. An RBI single. It's now 2-0 Dodgers.
Pretty sure this was a hard hit ball.
Oh, you can book that.
106.5. Watch your lips. Yeah, glad he got down.
Whoa.
It's hard even when it goes past second base. It has a different sound off of his bat.
No question. That's the Dodgers' first hit with a runner in scoring position. Back-to-back run-scoring swings. A sac fly from Rushing and the RBI knock from Ohtani.
Kyle Freeland on the Coors Field mound. That is a familiar place for him, and he's coming off not only his best performance of the year, one of the better performances in Kyle's career.
Yeah, I mean, for Kyle, 7 1/3 against the St. Louis Cardinals, but it was so important for Kyle to give you that outing because it ended up saving the Rockies bullpen, which set itself up nicely for the series against the Diamondbacks.
Well, guess who leads off for Los Angeles? That would be Shohei Ohtani.
Never heard of him.
I hear he's special, though, so.
He's very special, and it's probably not talked about enough. This guy posts up every day. I know he's a DH now / pitcher, but he never misses a day.
He brings a smile to my face just knowing the pleasure of watching what I'm assuming is going to be the greatest baseball player that ever walked the planet.
Here's the 1-0, and he lines it to right, a base hit. And it's almost, Sully,
that's a win.
If you keep him in the yard, especially what he's done against the Rockies, you say, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's basically an intentional walk that you just did to open up the game. Granted, it was 111 off the bat, and Kyle for the knuckle curveball right there. He's Spilly, the best way to say it is he's what every kid wants to be when they grow up, right? Like you dream of being a guy who's a two-way guy at the major league level doing all the things, and that's what we get to see with him.
Well, he's 5 for 7 with a couple of home runs against Kyle.
By the way, boys, that hit in the first by Shohei, 110, was his 98th hit over 100 miles an hour.
Got to be real careful here. You have first base open. I understand it's a second inning, but oh man, Kyle get out of the way. He got past Tovar. Kyle did not get hit by that, and it'll be a base hit and an RBI. And I was just saying, you know, I know it's the second inning, but you don't want to give him anything to hit. He's just a freak.
Well, he has so much plate coverage. Let's see how close this got to Kyle. This is really scary. 106 off the bat. Yeah. He was head high, and for Kyle, he ducked, took a tumble, and it got right past. You'll see how close that was. Right past Tovar, who's right there, but it was hit too hard.
Well, plus he was blocked out by Kyle the first half of that. 107 miles an hour. So he probably didn't even see it until it got over Kyle's head.
I throw this out there, and we saw this quite frequently 20 years ago. Do you Barry Bonds him even in situations where it would be completely unconventional?
I think so, just given the fact that I would take my chance against Mookie right now.
Yoshi, let's start with just coming out of the last game. You felt that your in-game adjustments, they just weren't really there. You weren't finding your rhythm and timing. How did you find navigating through the Rockies lineup today and just getting back on track, especially when if there was the walk or even the little moments in which they were able to get to you?
体の調子はよく1週間しか練習できたので、今日自信持ってマウンドに上がることができましたし、コロラド打線にしっかり作戦を立てて、投げていけたので、 3失点しましたけど、感覚はいい方だったかなと思います。
What makes Tovar just such a challenging, Ezekiel Tovar, what makes him such a challenging at bat for allowing him for that home run late in the game?
そこまでの打席は、すごくいい形で抑えれてたんですけど、打たれた球は、インコース高めの、ツーシームだったんですけど、それがちょっと、甘くいってしまって、打たれました。
For the season, Yoshinobu Yamamoto uses his curveball 17% of the time, Nomar, but he was really leaning on that curveball in the altitude there at Coors Field as well.
Yeah, he did. This is what was really impressive. It seemed like there was some adjustment, recognizing what was working. We talk about Dalton Rushing back there. He does a good job recognizing, too, which for pitchers and trying to get them back on track. We're going to go to the K-zone and look at the curveball. A lot of times we have a K-zone, Yamamoto, let's look at that split finger and that fastball command. No, this is all about the curveball. And as we mentioned, over there in Colorado, and recognizing how well, but the location, 2-2. I mean, look at the counts. 2-0 when you're ahead as a hitter, you're thinking, here's a fastball, and then you get the curveball. Great location down, induce the contact. He's ahead 1-2. There's the curveball as well. Then you come back with the curveball down to get the ground ball. He was using it to put guys away. He was using it to induce contact as well to be a fit. And it didn't matter what count. 1-2, 2-1, 0-2, 1-0. You're ahead. Here's another curveball. Ground ball. Utilizing the defense. Going out there and say, listen, I trust that if you put it in play, that it's not going to be hard, that I can go out there and induce weak pop-ups, fly balls, whatever. I mean, that was a 3-2 count. You're a 3-2 count, and you're still throwing that curveball and breaking ball and still putting it in a great location. So I think he had such a great feel. He had such a great release point in recognizing that to be consistent with it so that the curveball can continue to stay down in the zone and get the ground balls and get the plays and have the plays behind them.
I just think that's what we're so frustrated. We're all frustrated. We should be, because for him to recognize that him and Dalton Rushing recognize, this is the pitch, even though it's high altitude, I can use this pitch and pitch effectively with it. Great curveball, had a great fastball command, and I said earlier, to kind of waste this start for Yamamoto really is a gut punch.
Teoscar, can you just, obviously it's a big outfield out there, can you just talk to us on what you were reading on that fly ball that unfortunately you missed?
The last one?
The last one, yes.
I mean, we were playing no doubles. Like you said, it's a big outfield. I was really far. I tried to make the play. I didn't. It came out of my glove, so unfortunately. So things that happen. I just got washed it and just keep moving forward.
There have been a lot of positives, especially in that Padres series, and there's a lot of talk going into this one for it not to be a letdown. As much as there were good things in this game, obviously some missed opportunities, some strikeouts, what is just the feeling amongst you all with a loss like this?
I don't think anyone is going to feel different about this loss. It's just we lost a game. Tomorrow we focus on the game and try to win.
That ball came up. Did you think you had a shot at trying to catch it? Where did it sort of kick off the glove?
I mean, I was really far from where the ball landed, so I tried to do my best every time I get those fly balls, try to get under and make the play. So, like I said, unfortunately, it didn't happen. I get to the ball, I get the ball, but it came out of my glove. So tomorrow, just try it again.
Was it your ball all the way? I mean, the second baseman was coming out too, and you almost caught. I mean, you did catch it, but you couldn't hold on to it. Was the second baseman a concern with you?
I don't know. I don't know if it was noticed that we were playing no doubles. I'm not gonna say he can get there. Obviously, it's one of those balls that anybody can get it, but of course, I was a little bit far from it.
So you didn't pull up. You didn't see him.
No. I didn't. I was seeing the ball all the way, trying to catch it.
How tough is this outfield? You played in this outfield a few times, but how tough is it to play? Because most teams play deeper than usual because of the altitude and how large it is. How tough is it to cover the ground in this outfield?
It's a little bit different. The one maybe at Dodger Stadium, the outfield is a little smaller, but I don't think it make any difference in base of where you play or how you play.
Well, Dave, when you look at this one, I know we talked going into the game just about obviously not wanting to let up. There obviously were a lot of positives in this one. What were you seeing maybe that in just and how the guys kind of fell short in this one tonight.
I just think that offensively to start, outside of a couple guys having good nights, we just didn't, do much offensively, which was actually pretty surprising. And I thought Yoshi threw the ball really well, and we should have won that game. And certainly with the way he pitched, this is a hard one to kind of put into words.